Midwest Flush brought to you by the Plaza King.
Hey fam, what's going on? I just wanted to get on here real quick and go over something that's pretty important to me, near and dear to my heart, and that's going to be dog safety out in the field, and that's going to be a dog vest. A dog vest for me serves two purposes. One, visibility, and two, protection for the dog against briars, thorns, sticks, corn stalks, or in the case of my dogs, barbed wire fences. My dogs have had several run-ins with barbed wire fences, and each time they've lost that battle. So we're going to talk about dog vests today. I just put these vests on for the first time Monday just to see how they fit. Thank God I did. The girls have gotten a little big since last year, and these vests don't fit anymore, so had to order a couple new ones. They'll be here this weekend. Excuse me. This is a Scheels Outfitter vest. Scheels is not a sponsor of this video, but I have two dogs. So when I'm buying stuff for the dogs, I have to buy them in pair. So it needs to be budget friendly for me. And for me, these Scheels Outfitter vests, $49, is a pretty good buy. Great vest. And they've saved the dogs a couple of times with these vests they have. Monday had it on. Remy goes out into a brush pile, kicks a couple pheasants up. I notice she's running, or she attempts to run, but she doesn't go anywhere, and she lurches forward a couple of times. I was far enough back, I didn't realize what was going on at the time until I got a little closer and saw Remy was entangled in barbed wire. Go figure. So I try to stop her. She doesn't listen to me because she's trying to get after the bird she just kicked up. And eventually she gets out on her own. I call her over, put her on her back, and I start checking her out. And I find a couple holes through her vest. Well, that worried me instantly. I pulled the vest back. There wasn't a hair out of place on Remy. No scratch, nothing. She's fine. This vest, once again, did its job. Now this material up front it's like a neoprene material, so it's made to give when the dogs are walking. So it's not a real thick material, but yet it still did its job and preventing that barbed wire to cut her. Now I don't think that you're going to pick this up on camera, but I noticed tonight there's a white line that goes right down here. That's where that barbed wire started. It touched and went down. That's a 4.5 inch cut if that would have been all the way through. A 4.5 inch cut that could have potentially been on my dog had she not had this on. Now the shield itself is made, it's kind of a thicker rubber. That's great for if your dog runs into a corn stalk or something. That's just going to help take that blow and prevent that stalk from penetrating into the dog itself. The backside, where it velcros together, that's the thickest part of this vest right here. It's a pretty thick material right here, and if you imagine when a dog's going underneath a barbed wire fence, they're going to be ducking, and that barbed wire is going to be rubbing against their back. So that's why it's kind of thicker in this area. 2 years ago, Remy had a vest on similar to this, and that's the first time that she had a run-in with a barbed wire fence. Remy had two cuts right alongside her back right here. Two of them, 12 to 14 inches long. Both of them clean through this vest. Nothing wrong with Remy's back. Not once again, not a hair out of place. You guys, I 100% guarantee you that vest that she had on that day saved my dog's life. Without a doubt. It's been 2 years ago, and that still gets to me just thinking about what could have happened had she not had a vest on. I think that situation would have ended a lot differently than it did. I think I would have been preparing to cremate my dog instead of going hunting the next day had she not had that vest on. I know there's no way that I would have gotten to a vet fast enough to get her help, not out in the middle of western Kansas. And I didn't have enough first aid in my vehicle to help prevent what could have happened had she not had this vest on. They've got vests as low as $15, and I've seen them upwards to a couple $100. I think that there's a vest out there that fits everyone's budget. Not everyone has the same budget, and I understand that. But if you can add any layer of protection to help your dog out there, if you don't have a vest, guys, please go out and get one right now. And if you do, make sure that they fit properly. You don't want something that's too snug to where you're collapsing their lungs and they can't get a full breath in because you've cinched this back down too tight. You don't want one that's too loose, because then it's just going to be rocking back and forth and it's just going to be rubbing their legs raw. So make sure it's fitted properly. But it could save your dog's life. And I'm here to tell you that's what it did for my dog. Now, unfortunately, last night, Remy didn't have this vest on, but even if she did, it wouldn't have helped what happened last night. But we came home and my daughter discovered that she had something wrong with one of her back legs. I was quickly called to come into the living room, and I discovered that she had probably a 4 to 5 inch gash on the back leg up in what they call the armpit area of the dog. I never knew that Remy was hurt when we were out there. She never yelped. She never limped. She gave me no indication that she was hurt. Poor thing. She went to the vet today, and the vet sutured her up. Shout out to the York Animal Hospital here in York, Nebraska. They are great people. They're wonderful to work with, and unfortunately, I think they're getting way too familiar with my dogs. Maggie was in there last year getting taken care of because she caught her leg on a barbed wire fence. So I'm hoping that's the last time that we have to go see the vet for any kind of an emergency this year or any years coming. I think this year we're going to hunt in the middle of the field is what we're going to do. I think I'm going to put my buddies on the outside along any kind of fence row there may be, and we'll just let them push the birds to us. We've had way too many run-ins with fences, and I don't know how to prevent that from happening. Well, you could have 80 miles of no barbed wire and 3 feet of barbed wire, and I'll be damned if those dogs aren't going to find that 3 feet and go right through it. They're just they're either going to learn or they're not. I think that's where we're at right now. They're either going to learn or they're not. So guys, that's all I got for you. I just wanted to drop something really quick, let you know if you don't have one, if you don't have a vest, please think about getting one. It could be the difference between life or death, and I say that because Remy's living proof of that. So it's our dogs work their asses off when they're out in the field for us. We walk a mile, they've ran 4 miles in the same amount of time. They work really hard, and it's the least that we can do for them is to protect them as much as we possibly can. So until I see you next time, guys, happy hunting.
The bond between a hunter and his dog can't be described, but only felt. Steve Reeder.